Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday. I hope you're well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon. So, hi. I woke up this morning and I had a thought in my head. I was like, that's a message. So, we're going to just record a video right now. So, here we are. The words I had in my head were better choices equals a better future. Makes sense. It's pretty simple, but actually doing it, a little bit not so much. In order to have a different outcome, right, you need to do things differently than you did previously. It's that whole saying of you can't expect the same, or you can't expect a different outcome when you do the same thing over and over again. You never change it. So, like, if maybe you get really tired because you're working a certain way that you know stresses you out. If you continue doing that, you're not going to stop being stressed out. It's just going to keep happening, right? You can observe that that's what happens when you make a certain choice or you choose not to do certain things. So, to have a better future, you need to align yourself with that future by making different choices. Whether that is, and choices can be silent choices too, where you don't do something or where you actually do something. There's two different types of that. So silent choices is like you observe that you want to do something that maybe isn't the greatest for you, but you choose not to. Or in a non-productive stance, it can be you want to do something for your betterment, but you're like, oh no, I won't do it. And later on you're like, oh, it's like what is it, what people say? I've heard people say this many times, and I think I used to say it too a little bit when I was younger, but it's like, oh no, future me can deal with that. Like, it's fine. And that's why some people procrastinate. They're like, I don't want to deal with it now. I'll just leave it to my future self and they can deal with it and then I won't have to worry about it. And it's like, but you will. And then not only does your future self have to deal with it, you have to feel the underlying stress up until you do actually do it. And then you're stressed when you're doing it. So it's like, that doesn't work. And that's not productive. So maybe choose not to do that, you know? Um, that one is so funny because it's like future me can deal with that. I don't have to worry. It's like, but you do though. Like, that's not true. You do have to deal with it, just not in this exact moment. And the more that you put something off like that, the worse it gets. So, procrastination is not good. Just letting you know. I know, I've done that. So, anyway, the thing is though, right? Like, once you're aware that things are not the best for you, or once you're aware of another way of doing things, then it becomes a matter of conscious choice of, do I want to be different, act different, um, handle things differently, or am I going to continue to do it a certain way? So it's like when you're in, this is why shadow work is so important. If you are in the middle of shadow work and you recognize certain things about yourself, like why you're making certain choices is because of, this wound or whatever. So that's why you try to fill a space with something so that you don't have to feel the feelings of that wound, or of those memories. And so you're doing that, but once you're aware, once you can see it through like shadow work or something of the like, you are aware that that's happening. So then it's no longer, oh, I don't know any better. I'm just making these choices because I don't know any better. Like, that could have been true in the past, but once you are aware, then it becomes a choice. You can't say, oh, I didn't know better, because now you do know better. You are aware of why you are doing it. That doesn't mean it's easy to just stop making those choices, because if you've been making those choices for a long time and it's normal, it's going to be hard to not do it or to choose differently when you're not used to that. But it is about trying and about allowing yourself over time to get used to making those choices more often for yourself, to have a better future, to align yourself with that new reality that you actually want, rather than staying within the one that maybe you currently in that isn't as satisfying, and isn't exactly where you want to be. These things take time. They do, to make better choices. I know that I'm not perfect, and there are a lot of times where I'm still making choices where I'm like, I don't know if I should really be doing that, right? You know, I'm trying my best, I'm looking at it, I know that that's not good for me, so I'm not going to do that. But there are still times where maybe I don't make the perfect right choice, which is fine. But it's all about doing your best to be putting in effort and to building up your ability to make those better choices over time. With anything else, it gets easier over time, like the shadow work. Like, the more that you know about yourself, the more that you understand why you're making choices, and maybe what to do instead of making those choices that's healthier, it's not as difficult. But again, it takes time. So, but yeah, it's a choice. It is a choice. So if you want to do something or you don't want to do something, that is all up to you. Nobody else can stop you or make you do that. That's really your choice. So that was a message I heard when I was waking up. I was like, okay, let's get on and do it, I guess. But yeah, it becomes a matter of, looking at yourself and seeing something that maybe isn't the best and being like, so I'm doing this thing. Then first of all, why am I doing that thing? And maybe how can I address the underlying reason I'm doing that thing? And then it'll become easier not to make that choice. So another thing is, people sometimes fixate on the choice rather than the reason someone is choosing that choice. So, for example, maybe you are addicted to something, like you're addicted to consuming media or something like that, like books or videos or whatever. Maybe you're addicted to that, and it's like, I don't know how to stop this addiction. Well, then you kind of try to figure out, why exactly do you feel the need to be consuming so much? Are you trying to avoid something? Are you trying to avoid certain feelings, certain thoughts, certain memories? So it's kind of a game of why. Why are you doing that, and why are you not doing this? Because usually it's the underlying cause that, when addressed and worked on, those choices don't really happen as often. You start to make better choices when you align yourself, like I said at the beginning, align yourself with a different version of yourself. So when you're working on understanding yourself and shifting yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that puts you in the position to start making physical choices that are different than previously. Ones that are more aligned with, like, where you actually want to be going, who you actually want to be, who you actually are, a lot of times too, which is fascinating. So the more you are really taking the time to understand the whys, the reasons, to understand that, most people are not out here just making these choices because they want to. A lot of times it is because of other underlying things that are driving it that they're not even really fully aware of. And once again, once you are aware, then it becomes a choice. So if you go into it and you learn all about why you're making that choice, and you're like really fixing that, and you're still like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it anyway, well, that's a choice. So yeah, it's not to shame anybody for making like choices that aren't the best, because everybody does it. Human nature. Sometimes we do things that are not the best for us, and sometimes we don't do things that we should be doing. That is the imperfection of being a human being. But When you know, when you are aware, then it becomes a choice, and only you can make that choice, so don't you want to make better choices? That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. I'll say it again though. I'll say it a second time now, so it's like double. I hope you're well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon. So, have a great day, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.